Hey guys, jdthemightymesprit here. You guys probably remember the last cliffhanger from the last video. Because I said that this would be two collection videos, and now we have the next one, which is my PlayStation 1 collection. So, I'm gonna tell you one story about the PlayStation 1. I remember having a good amount of PS1 games. Unfortunately, I kind of didn't get much, and then what I decided to downsize my PS1 collection and get rid of the greatest hits stuff. Well, it's only one of them I kept, but I basically have well, I don't have a lot of PS1 games, but you know what? I did a Super Nintendo collection and a Genesis collection, so you know what? I'm also gonna do it anyway because I actually do have some pretty good stuff in my PS4 in my PS4 and PS1 collection. So. Anyway, before we start, well, like I said before, we are almost at 100 subscribers. So if you can hit that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. But anyway, with that being said, let's go. So we'll start out with the not so great games. I guess one of the games are really great, but it's not. I guess we'll start with the not so great games, and then we'll get to the really good stuff. First up, we have is Dance's Revolution. This is obviously the original DDR, or obviously the one that started it all, of course, but based on the arcade game. And of course, being an awesome arcade game, it needs to have an awesome port, and this is an awesome port. Oh my god, I actually sound like oh my god, I actually sound like I showed the middle finger, oh my god. That wasn't the middle finger, I was just making a middle finger, that was the point. That was not meant to be the middle finger, so just to correct this out. But anyway, this is Revolution. That's an awesome game, awesome port. All right, one of the worst racing games I ever played in my life. It was actually the first PS1 game I got because it was cheap. This game sucks. Terrible prop racing. Yeah, it's by Sony, but doesn't matter. What a huge disappointment this game was. And that's basically it. And I'm not gonna talk about it too much. Because the game sucks. But of course we can switch. Let's switch the topic from bad games to great games. Final Fantasy VII, one of my all-time favorite RPGs, and one of my favorite games of all time. My favorite Final Fantasy. Like you know, I love Final Fantasy. This one is the greatest hits. But I actually found this was actually the first game I found at a flea market. It was my first time going to a flea market. And I was trying to look for video games. I mean, I did have a little trouble until I actually found a booth that had video games. And yeah, I did not know what resellers were. Now I know what resellers are, but regardless, I think he wanted 25. I talked him down to 17, which actually is kind of reasonable considering now this game I believe goes right around greatest hits. It goes like around 30-50. So and then Paco kind of goes like around $10 more than that. So but still really awesome game. Hey man, I do want to upgrade to the Black Label, but I kind of even though I did sell my greatest hits, I had to keep this one because I love this game, and I kind of don't want to get rid of it because I love Final Fantasy. I mean, I did get rid of Final Fantasy IX, but I really wanted to keep Final Fantasy VII because it's such an amazing game, and believe it or not, it actually has the original Black Label greatest hits. Why you can tell because it's obviously Squaresoft. That's the only way you can tell this is an original Black Label. That's why I kept it. It's not a reprint, so it's not one of those reprints. But anyway, next up we have Spider-Man. This is the original Spider-Man game the original PlayStation 1 game. I'm not talking about Marvel Spider-Man, which I actually really want to get a hold of that one. That's an awesome freaking game right there. And what do I try to get a hold of it? But this is a really awesome game and just. Very awesome Spider-Man game, except I did get stuff. It is hard as shit though, so a little bit hard. Maybe not too hard, but you kind of have to get used to this game. But it's still an awesome game, and just in time for me to pick it up and show it to you guys because the new Spider-Man movie just came out on No Way Home. So of course everybody's been talking about that. So again, not everyone Spider-Man's like on everybody's mind. I'm not even joking. And of course, I would love to get. I do want to see one of the Spider-Man movies. I'll probably try to watch the newer ones, the ones by Sony. After Marvel was purchased by Disney, even though for some reason Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man. I didn't think about it. Sony there are a few Marvel characters that are not owned by Disney, and I know that. Spider-Man, Venom, and I believe The Punisher. I could be wrong. I mean, considering if the Disney made a Marvel movie about the Eternals, which is the world's greatest Marvel movie, I could definitely like, oh god, I could definitely, like, kind of, too bad I can't even in my mind, I'll do it, I kind of want that Batman, I want to get some of the DC ones, but more specifically, I mean, I have the Batman Arkhams, which are amazing, but I do want to get the, well, more, I want to see Batman, the Tim Burton Batman movie, such an amazing movie, and of course, the Batman, by getting off track, and we have Trick and Snowboarder, so this game it's actually went down in praise. It was actually going for like a 30, but I did get this game at Book Off. It wasn't the game I was wanting to get, but then I saw the Capcom. I never seen this game, but I saw it was made by Capcom. So obviously when I was like I had to get this. So Capcom game, never seen it in a while, works for me. So it's actually a really awesome snowboarding game. I will say there's a story mode that the cutscenes do feel like some of the other Capcom games like Mega Man X4, maybe not, I'm not sure, maybe about X6, but definitely Mega Man X4, Mega Man 8, you get the OGs. But it's more accurate, when did this come out? 1999. It's like before the Alia from Mega Man X was introduced, during the second half of the Mega Man X series. But obviously the first time Mega Man X is amazing, even though some of them games are really hard to get, like obviously Mega Man X2, 3, and of course X4 is hard to get, more hard to get on Sega. It's not hard to get on PS1, I can find that one. It's actually amazing it's on PS1, because if it was on Sega, I would never be able to get it. But thankfully it's on pretty much on PS1, so I can play it. Alright, we are getting into the more expensive games. I kind of have them in like in a random order, so I'll just, for some reason, I'm not the best organized, so, but because this is actually, this is going to be a really short video, actually, which is pretty cool. I'm actually going to show this first. We have, Jersey Devil. No, this is, oh god. So, this is a really fun platformer. I typically would rather have PS1 games with the manual, but there's actually a specific reason why I decided to keep this one in particular. It doesn't have the manual, but this is actually going for, without the manual, this is going for like around $70. And complete is actually going for like around 120. So, and the true reason why I decided to keep it without the manual is because, I scored this game at a flea market for $2. I am dead serious. I scored this game for, I was a little concerned about this one. I was like, I kind of thought to myself, oh, this is a cheap game, and and that's why it's pricey. It's a filler, and then I found out, oh, it's an expensive game. So I mean, even the guy didn't know. He didn't know what he had, but I pretty much caught him slipping. I haven't told him about it, but if he watches this video, he probably will guess by now that I caught him slipping. But anyway, yeah, of course, I'll show this game next. Pretty much the rest of it. After this game, the rest of the games were pretty much RPGs. So. But then we have Marvel Superheroes. Of course, another Capcom game. This is an awesome fighter. I'm about to get like a Saturn version, but this version is still really good. And I'm not even joking. I saw a gameplay for the arcade version. I think my most wanted arcade one-up is probably the Marvel Superheroes, because I'm like other 2D. I'm just mostly good at this game. Like. All I need to do is play the arcade version. Then even if it's an arcade one, I can understand right now that this game is my favorite arcade game of all time. And even the arcade one has very good. So even though I would love the X-Men, and I kind of want this one more because the arcade one up to this game more. Because this is such an awesome fighter. And not to mention, and I do love the end. My favorite ending is actually the ending to Spider-Man. And hey, this is the second Marvel game we're talking about. Well, this by Marvel Comics, but it's an awesome game. And I cannot wait to play more game, because it is an awesome game. Well, I actually don't think about it. This is actually one of those PS1 games I still come back to this day. Like, I typically don't like to come back to PS1 games, but this is a game I do come back to, because if I want to. Although this time I wouldn't log it into Twitter. But this is a game that I still come back to this day. And if I do want to, once I get a second PS3 controller, if I can find one for cheap, because PS3 is expensive to shop, I'll definitely play this with my brother, because I could tell he really wants to play this game. It's such an awesome game. Alright, we have 5 more games left. This is actually really short. Actually, even better, this is going to be a short video. I already took the thumbnail, so all I need to do is like record my PS4 quicks and then oh yeah, that's right. I'll kind of reveal it at the end of the video. I kind of gave you a hint there. But anyway, next up, let's finish with the most expensive PS1 games. And you might be surprised about this. All my most expensive PS1 games all happen to be RPGs, believe it or not. And well, a couple of them I got off eBay, but 2 of them I actually the other half I found. So first up we have Threats of Fate. This one I got from eBay. But I actually have never seen this game in the wild, and I typically wouldn't want to pay eBay prices, but you know, I decided fuck it. I'm gonna get this game off eBay because I want this game really bad. I've never seen this game in the wild. And I just want to try to get a hold of it before it gets, because I know you know how expensive this game has gotten. That being said, even though I wanted this game, I got it, and unfortunately, this game is a disappointment. But thankfully, the next game I'm about to talk about is not a disappointment, but this game, I mean, the thing about this game, so this girl, her name's Mint, she's one of the biggest like spoiled brats in a video game, and not for a good reason. In fact, I know people like to consider Bowser Jr. the worst spoiled brat, and but Bowser Jr. has redeeming qualities. Mint does not, and she was really a spoiled brat, and she's really selfish, and she's like the main protagonist, and I really cannot stand her. I kind of would be surprised if Squaresoft does do a remake. And again, Squaresoft made some of the best RPGs on PS1, like some of the best games on the PS1, and Threats of Fate is not one of them. So gotta point that out. But thankfully, this is I'm not sure when this one did come first, but I've got this game actually plays the exact same with Threats of Fate. And I've actually been looking for this game for a very long time, and I was really glad I scored this game for a really, really good deal. And surprisingly, I had an unexpected store to score this game, and that's Dragon Valor. This is a really awesome action RPG. It is really short, but it is such an awesome RPG. You know what? I will say that the story was stupid. Obviously, it was not up my expertise, but I really like the story. Well, no, it's not sorry. I really like the game. The game plays really well. It is hard as shit though, but thankfully, the good thing about this game is that the bosses are easy. You will have to die. You will have to die to beat them. Unfortunately, because obviously you're not gonna be. They don't prepare you enough items, so to immediately face them. Typically what they do is they don't immediately, there's no option, there's no area to immediately heal before. So it's kind of, I guess it's kind of more like a 3D platformer, action adventure game, to say. Except obviously it's not an action adventure game. It's obviously an action RPG. Regardless, it is an awesome game. It does play with Threats of Fate, but this is the much better game. This is the one I highly recommend. Now, one more thing. The reason why why don't I tell you about the story where I got this game? I got this game at J&L. Now, typically, of course, the store owner Kit from J&L, he has become a really good friend of mine. But at the same time, I do have to appreciate the fact that he's trying to run a business. But again, as a good friend of Kit has become a really good friend of mine. But it's something I do gotta point out. The store owner, the store is really high, unfortunately. But typically some stores you might be able to catch people slipping, and believe it or not, I almost caught them slipping with 2 games. I saw Arundra on PS1, very hard to find, But unfortunately, they had it $80, which was really good until I found out, oh, it was the printed artwork. And it doesn't come with the map, which I don't care about if I get the map or not. But I kind of care about the artwork, and unfortunately, it was the printed artwork. I had to pass on it. But thankfully, this one they had priced at $60, which is typically what PS1 games came out were when they first came out, because I guess they had no idea the price in. And I knew saw this game first, it's one of those cases where I got J&L shipping, and as a result, I was able to get a really, really hard game to find off. Really hard game to find off my list. So, really awesome. Anyway, next up we have Breath of Fire 4. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not the biggest Breath of Fire fan. I want to get into a Breath of Fire game. And I'm trying to think about this one to get into. But there's just so many things, small things about, and I know if I say some things, it's like the small, sometimes maybe not the small things about that really matter, maybe not. But this game, it does matter. The small things are kind of what are killing me from playing this game. Like there's like small things about this game that I just cannot get in. That makes me not get into this game that as much as I really want to. And I'm kind of ashamed though, because I actually have been looking for this game. I still need Breath of Fire 3, so if anybody has Breath of Fire 3, please let me know, although thankfully I have the rare and expensive one. I don't have the cheap, I don't have the uncommon and pricey one. I have the rare and expensive one, I don't have the uncommon and pricey one. So, I'll give those actually cheap, pricey, and expensive. But obviously that's really surprising games, but yeah, this is, wouldn't say this is the best Breath of Fire game, but I have been looking for this game for a while, so. And again, it's by Capcom. And unfortunately, Breath of Fire is really dormant. I have 2 more games left, but before that, before I actually show you the last game, typically I like to show you the most expensive PS1 game I own, but for some reason, I don't know, like, I kind of don't know what I really consider to be the most expensive PS1 game I own. It's kind of hard for me to determine. So I think what I'm gonna, I'll show one of my favorite PS1 game, which is coming up. But this is this is actually one of my favorite RPGs. Actually, by the same developer. Actually, we're mixing. I'll show this one first. We have Lunar Superstar Story Complete in the big box. This is an amazing game. Obviously one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Games of War has spoke highly of this game. It's really amazing. Although, I mean, I know I could tell he considers 60 first to be much better. But this is obviously his favorite RPG, so in fact, this game in particular is his favorite game of all time. And obviously everybody who's doing his channel knows, because he really spoke highly of this game. And this is something I really want to get for a very long time. Because I keep seeing other people have it, and it's just amazing that I have this thing now. Now, I still need to get the Lunar 2 in the big box, which thankfully I have run across Lunar 2 in the big box at J&L. Unfortunately, I'm not catching no shipping, unfortunately. But thankfully, I have run across it, so it's whatever. But it's at J&L, so no shipping material. I'm not sharing probably they catch shipping. But I also need the Arc the Wild collection. But I would love to get those. If anybody has those, please let me know. Guys, awesome game right here. I do want to go back to this game. I definitely want to say this is on my backlog of games to finish, but I didn't try to finish this game because I have not played this game in a while. So at this point, I'm kind of get lost, and this is one of those open world RPG where they don't tell you exactly where to go. But you'll know if you really pay attention, and if you don't play a game for a very long time, you're likely to get lost. So I'm probably never gonna be able to play this game again because it had been. But regardless from when I played, this is an amazing game. Hopefully, I can remember where it was, and then I'll be able to continue. And finally, I guess this is kind of fitting to be the last game, the last PS1 game I have to show. This is by far not only one of the greatest RPGs I ever played, one of the greatest games I ever played in my life. If my all-time favorite, not only favorite RPG in the PS1, but my all-time favorite retro old school RPG, Grandia. This is one of the best RPGs I ever played in my life. the story is so good. The music, the music is amazing. The opening of the game, where Gans is, you're dealing with Gans, even though it's more like you're just finding weird objects. Like, it obviously is a great way to start, that definitely how you start a good game. And why? Because it's going to set the tone for what this game will become, what this game is going to be. And then when of course you basically, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an S. Fuck, I forgot the name of the word. But whatever she does when she gets on this ship by accident. And of course, you do meet, when you meet Fina is when it gets amazing. I mean, I guess it kind of gets a little more serious. Because we have the ghost ship. I mean, don't get me wrong. The octopus boss at the ghost ship, it took me like 6 attempts. I was ready to give up until the last minute when I was about to give up. I actually beat him. Unfortunately, when I was trying to get out, it was also the time when my TV died. But anyway, I was able to get the games out of there and get them out safely without damaging the disc, because this is a more pricier game. But so and then like it took me a month before I got a new TV, and so but unfortunately, majority of this game I had to play on the big on the TV in the living room because I really wanted to play this game really bad, and I typically won't I kind of don't want go through the pain of having to, because I'm putting AV in just to play something. Okay, typically it has to be really worth it, because it typically isn't worth it because it's such an RPG so rude. It's just not worth it. But this game, it was worth it. This game was worth it because it's obviously a masterpiece of a game. Just so many emotional and adorable so many moments that will make you smile. You got obviously Fina is one of the greatest sweethearts in a game ever. It's just an amazing game. I'm not gonna spoil much for this game. I mean, it does go for around $100, but it is worth every penny of it. That's all. If you don't have this game, please play this game. But that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I actually talked about William longer, so of course I will mention what the next PS1 collection video will be. Yes, it's finally happening. You can obviously tell right here, but yes, I finally got a PlayStation 4. And I kind of have enough games to show. Of course, it's not a lot. But fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. So I would love to be for my PS4 collection, but either way, I'm gonna do a collection video either way. But so I'm really excited for it to show you what I have. So I've actually been wanting to. Obviously, if you see my pick videos, you guys know which PS4 games I have. Some games I did get rid of, even though I did show in the pick video. But you know what? It's fine, because I'm so excited to show you what I have. Maybe I should wait, but I'm gonna show you now. So so possibly not the finale of the channel, but probably the finale, possibly season 1 of the video game collection. I mean, I kind of don't want to do this by season, but this is probably this is all finale of probably season 1 of my collection videos. I'm gonna be doing my PlayStation 4 collection, and I think that's actually gonna wrap it up. The first season, and of course I'll have in a playlist. And of course the next season, I'm actually going to study a new type of collections. I've actually been thinking about it. I'm thinking about doing video game company collections, showing games I have from a specific studio or publisher. I don't think anybody has done this before, so I'm actually really excited to show you guys what. I'm not sure if it's going to be the biggest attention. Good amount of attention, but still we would love to do it. We're almost at 25 minutes, so I'm gonna stop it all here. Stay tuned for the finale. I'm jdthemightymesprit. We got our Wells video games, but hates IGN.